Welcome back, everyone, to the Martian Tomato Podcast. I am Marley, or Mars Bars.
And it's your boy, the Tomato, also known as Brennan.
And yes, this will be episode 11 of our podcast.
Yep.
Just before we start, make sure you follow our Instagram account. That'll be Galactic Arrowverse Hub. Link will be in description down below. And
Follow more or you'll step on a nail.
What?
I'm sorry, that was graphic. I apologize.
Oh, that's great. It's so random too. Anyways, yes, the reason why I mentioned our Instagram account is because today we're going to be discussing Batwoman. Now, the last time we did our podcast was actually, I posted the podcast basically on the night of the Batwoman season 2 premiere.
Yep.
And now, I'm because we're recording this on Saturday. The date is the 30th. And tomorrow will be a new episode. It'll be episode 3 of Batwoman season 2. So I already posted my 2 reviews for episodes 1 and 2 on Galactic Arrowverse Hub. But Brennan, I want to hear your thoughts on the first 2 episodes and just Batwoman as in general.
So right now, in general, the first episode was phenomenal. Just the whole thing with the whole story of her fighting Kate Kane's batsuit and her putting it on just to kill Alice because she's the reason her mother's dead. And Ryan Wilder is, I don't know, I think she's doing a good job so far as being Batwoman. It's kind of, it's still weird. It's been 2 episodes. It's tough since Ruby Rose left. I'm not saying like this season's been bad or anything. It's been good. Like the first episode was phenomenal, and I think the second episode was okay. I don't know. I didn't really like the pacing of it, but I think that's just me. And this, when it comes to the second episode, like I even read like your Instagram thing, and it's pretty spot on that it's like this. It's going to be kind of based on hope. I think this type of thing, and her living up to like Kate Kane's legacy or whatever. I'm curious to see, like, are they keeping it open because they keep talking about, oh yeah, when Kate Kane comes back, you're pretty much done as Batwoman. Like, I'm kind of confused. Is it like, are they just trying to make it like, how can I explain it? Like maybe in the future she comes back or something like that.
Well, they're leaving the possibility of. I mean, I imagine because if they could recast, because the CW when it comes to like just the DC shows just by itself, they have done recast before. They recasted Sarah Lance, and that's one of the best recastings I've seen in quite a while. Well, I mean, not like a character or an actor plays like a younger version of a character like we see in like Star Wars. Like Han Solo is recasted, but for obvious reasons, for like to play a younger character, younger Han Solo. But in terms of like just a straight up recast, the CW's done it before. I mean, one of their, like I said, one of their most popular characters, Sarah Lance, has been recasted, and I think her recasting is really good. So, yeah, they're obviously leaving the door open for Kate Kane to potentially return. I feel like what's going to happen this season is that, like, Ryan's going to go through some sort of like character arc where like she kind of like struggles to. Well, I mean, she wants to become Batwoman. Well, she's just using it as like a vehicle to drive her I guess like her motive on revenge on Alice, right? But I feel like
I think revenge is going to be like one of the main things this season because
sorry, go on.
Because I was just saying, like, obviously Alice is the reason her stepmom died, and like we saw in the first 2 episodes, or I think it was episode 2 with all the bats and stuff, and she trying to kill Alice and decided not to, and then decided to save people from bats, whatever. And I hated the joke where she says she hates bats. I hated that. That was stupid. But yeah, like I said, like this season is, I think this Batwoman is going to be a lot more different. Obviously, I feel like she's going to be more fun, if that makes sense, because I feel like Kate Kane was way more serious.
That's what I was thinking too at first, but I kind of feel like looking.
I feel like it could be both, though.
Well, I said in my review for episode 2 that I feel like the main themes of revenge and hope are going to be like kind of juggled in between now and then throughout this season. I feel like
Yeah,
she's going to struggle between what she wants to do and what's doing, or excuse me, what's best for Gotham. I mean,
yeah.
we already have lots of people looking up to Batwoman. People prefer Batwoman over the Crows. So it seems like this is a different Bat family character than other, Bat related characters in DC universe. Because usually Batman, like even though like Batman in most iterations is kind of seen as like a kind of like a monster in a way, from Gotham
No way.
City.
Yeah,
But like this one
so
here,
still
like
feared.
yeah, like people actually look up to her and all that stuff.
Hmm.
Which, like I said, it has me thinking that like this season's gonna juggle more on the themes of, I guess, hope and
Yeah,
inspiring others, but that's
yeah,
also going to be like in conflict with her, like her desire to get revenge on Alice. And
yeah. I'm also sorry to cut you off, but I'm also curious to see if like how Sophie and Kate's dad are like trying to find like, oh, you didn't know she was Batwoman and whatnot. I believe it was the beginning of the second episode, and like I'm curious to see if like Sophie and like the dad are gonna do like it like right into it and see if they're lying and see if they can find the Bat Cave or look around like her office or whatever or something like that and see if like they can find clues to see like if she was really Batwoman, which I'm pretty sure they both know it was really Batwoman because of the note to Sophie, and then obviously with Alice telling Kate's dad that or their dad that she's like Batwoman, and the last time they spent together, like the dad hated her or whatnot. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do with that a little bit.
I feel it's gonna be more of a personal character thing. I don't know if they're gonna
Yeah,
actually go on a hunt for the Batcave, because it's like, why would they do that? But like,
yeah,
I
true.
guess but I can kind of see them going, kind of like struggling throughout this season. Obviously, it's going to be hard for them for, their daughter or their friend to be gone, for to just disappear.
Yeah.
Um, but speaking of, I kind of want to go back to that. Uh, about the recasting thing, I feel like what's going to
Mhm,
happen, and maybe like a couple seasons down the line, if the show goes on for that long,
mhm.
maybe Kate Kane does return, but it's like, it's a recast, and like,
Mhm.
she either A becomes like a side character, or maybe is kind of like a mentor for Ryan. Although I wouldn't really make any sense for her to be a mentor unless she's like
Yeah.
doing her own vigilante stuff some elsewhere. She becomes like a Batwoman, I guess, in like a different city or something like that. Because she
Yeah,
betrayed.
or they can do maybe Kate Kane goes insane or some shit, and then that's like the main villain for one season or whatever, something like that. I don't see
Yeah,
that happening though. So far this season, I'm still indifferent. Like it said, it's been 2 episodes. The first episode was really good. The second episode was okay, I guess. We'll just have to see. It's just going to take a little bit of time. That's pretty
yeah.
much it when it comes to that, really.
Yeah, actually, going back to one of my reviews, I think it was for my review for episode one,
Mhm.
um, where I think I talked about, or I discussed how they tied Ryan Walder with Alice. Thinking about it now,
Yeah,
I'm not sure if I'm a huge fan of how they did that, because it felt very rushed. Um, how like,
yeah.
yeah,
I get what
her
you're
gang,
saying.
yeah, like her gang just jumps Ryan and her stepmom out of nowhere, even though like, I mean, I still like, I don't know like if I understand the reason why she jumped them to begin with, but like
Yeah, I don't remember her having like a bunch of goons and stuff
I
with
think
her.
it's supposed to show that like Alice is like a very very reckless type of person, and she'll just kill anyone who gets in her way, and I guess like maybe her
Yeah,
stepmom got in her way or something like that. But I
yeah.
wasn't
We
really a
all.
huge fan how they did that. I hope that their actual encounters, like we got in the last
Yeah.
episode, I hope good, good and well thought. Well, excuse me, well thought
Oh
out.
yeah, I also
Maybe has
like
some
the
interesting
part.
dialogue between the
Oh,
two.
sorry. I also like the part where like Kate, like she was in the alleyway, she was dressed up for Halloween, and a bunch of guys jumped her, and then Batwoman came down and saved her, and like wrote her in the journal and something like that. I thought that was
Yeah,
pretty cool.
that's one of the main reasons why I actually like the second episode more than the first, is because it actually connects. And like the way that they connected Ryan with Kate was actually good. I like that
Yeah,
because it was
I
like
like that.
even though it was such an insignificant moment for Kate,
Yeah.
she wrote about it in her diary, journal, letter, whatever. And then
Mm.
like that kind of comes full circle with Ryan starting to write to Kate because she's missing now. So
Yeah,
like
exactly.
like I like how it came full circle. I'm really interested to see how they um do that, like how that kind of progresses throughout the season. I'm pretty sure she's going to be writing more letters to Kate, but I'm really curious to see how that kind of
Yeah,
pans
and I'm
out.
also curious to see like what they're gonna do with Luke Fox because I don't think does Ryan really know how to fight or not really.
She's trained in martial arts.
So that's pretty much so she's only like trained in one thing.
Well, they didn't specify what martial arts it was, but I mean, I guess she's a decent fighter.
Oh, okay. So I think in like this episode coming up tomorrow that she needs to get trained while she's in the bat suit because she's not the best at it at the moment. Like
Yeah.
I think she needs to learn a couple more things just with gadgets and cars and whatnot.
Well, the
Like
end of last episode, we got the mention of Sophia, which is another
yeah,
villain. I think
yeah.
there's going to be, what was it, like three villains, or not three villains, but like there's going to be a lot. There's going to be obviously Alice, but I feel like Alice is going to get kind of not really written out, but I'm pretty sure she's going to get dealt with throughout, like I guess,
I
the
think she
mid-season
might
finale.
get killed. I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I don't really. I mean, I guess she could kind of become. Actually, no, I was about to say she can kind of become an anti-hero in a way, but I don't really see her
Yeah,
doing
I
that.
don't see that
I think
happening at all.
the last I think like just the first two episodes of this season alone tried to make sure that Alice was not a redeemable character because
Yeah,
in so like last season she kind of was like Kate really wanted to save her, but
yeah,
like several things happened where Kate kind of backstabs her, and then now she goes all like we learn about like her backstory with Ryan, all that stuff. It's kind of like the writers are trying to are actually trying now to make her an or irredeemable character. So she like I have a feeling she might get killed off too.
yeah. Because because the it's different with her and the new Catwoman now. It's
Yeah, like, she's
different.
out for
It's
blood.
weird. She's out for blood and wants to kill her. I feel like she's going to get killed off and then just ignore her and then go focus on like the newer villains
I
because
don't
like
want her to get killed off like in like one episode. I want it to be like kind of climactic because this was supposed to be the main villain for season one.
yeah,
But like
I think it's gonna be like one of those things where maybe Ryan like grabbed her off falling off a cliff or building or something, and then she just says "fuck you" and then just lets go of her hand or something like
or
that.
do you think that Alice could be a villain like what's his name? Tobias Whale from Black Lightning? I think that's his name. Um,
Ooh,
do you
ooh,
think that she could become like him?
can like in what way? Like become like
Like,
an
cause
evil
Tobias Whale is
empire?
like a Tobias Whale, yeah, he does kind of have like his own kind of criminal empire, right?
Empire, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think
Oh,
that?
and they
I mean,
also Black
I
Lightning's
don't
coming
think
out
Alice
soon.
should. Well, I don't think Alice could have her own type of criminal empire like Tobias. But do you think that she could
Yeah.
become like a reoccurring villain rather than just getting killed off?
That's tough. That's kind of tough, I think.
Because like I have a feeling because like in the comics, Alex is kind of a not big, but she's one of the villains. But one of Batwoman's villains, I think.
Hmm.
So kind of having her as a reoccurring villain, kind of like with Malcolm Merlin, where like they show up
Yeah.
every now and then. I feel like that's gonna happen with Alice. I mean, it is
I
hard to
mean,
tell
I could
Alice.
see it, but I doubt it. I could see
Yeah.
where it could work, but they also, at the same time, I don't. I also forgot on February 8th, um, next month, Black Lightning comes out again, season 4
Yeah, but
starts.
like, yeah,
So I'm super excited about that. It's very disappointing that season cut off, but we talked about that enough. But
yeah. Kind of segueing into, I guess, other shows now. Which
mhm,
before we get into that, Black Lightning's, or I guess just the CW market team. Let's just say is
yeah.
terrible. They've done
Mm.
very little to
Oh,
market Black Lightning.
they haven't hyped this show up at all. I saw like one
Yeah,
trailer.
it's supposed to be the final season. Now I understand like with like all COVID restrictions and stuff like that, but like they've already done a lot with Superman and Lewis. We already had a
Yeah, I
couple
know.
promotional posters and all that stuff prior
Like,
to the main the first trailer or whatever. But
I haven't seen anything
like
for
for
Black
Black
Lightning at
Lightning,
all.
yeah, when does the Flash? Oh yeah, Flash is coming back in March. You think
March,
like
yeah.
2 months before the season premieres, we'd at least have something like some sort of like a promotional image or something like that. But we don't really have
Yeah.
anything from the Flash, and
Yeah, we
again,
don't.
we barely have anything from Black Lightning. We have like maybe two post. Was it? I think it's just one poster, and then we have one like teaser trailer, which is only like less than a minute long. So like,
Yeah.
let's just say that I'm just gonna say that the CW market team is terrible. Actually, not just the CW. I think that just when it comes to the DC shows, I think the marketing team is not doing that good, except for
Yeah, I
Superman and
agree.
Lois because that's like the new show.
Superman,
They don't want to hype
oh,
it up.
that show looks fucking insane
Yeah,
already.
yeah. The trailer was pretty good.
Yeah.
But I like all the other shows. I think like Titans is coming back soon. They're also
Yeah.
not promoting that either. So like, I mean, we
Like,
obviously got like, well, we got the suit reveals for both Red Hood and Starfire, but like
yeah.
we don't actually have a promotional image or like
Like
the
that's the thing.
trailer.
Like to get your fans hyped up, you need to post that stuff,
Yeah,
even if it's a
last year, like
photo, like anything.
yeah, like prior, like or not prior. I guess like in 2019, like before the start of last season's DC um or DC TV shows, the PR team was doing really good. Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
to
I
be
know.
fair, this was before COVID, but like even like still like, do you think that they can still come up with some
They
sort
even
of like
hyped up
poster?
Swamp Thing coming back more than they have done Black Lightning, bro.
Well, they never really hyped up Swamp Thing coming back. It's just that they hyped up the reruns,
Yeah, they hyped that up
which
more
yeah,
than
it
this
did in
movie.
a way kind of in a way it did kind of give us false hope that the show could be
Yeah,
renewed. It never got picked up. I really wanted the
yeah, yeah,
HBO Max to pick that up, but I guess they have
yeah.
their hands full right now.
But watch, we're going to talk about like they haven't hyped it up, and it's going to drop like 3 like posters, 3 like trailers and some
I
shit.
highly doubt it. They're not really rolling out anything right now.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but like, I hope Black Lightning's good. I'm sad it's its last season, but
Yeah,
I'm hoping
hopefully
it's
that
good.
like because they're gonna have a
Oh, that
backup plan for
pain.
Painkiller. I hope that they actually pick that show up and like because
Yes.
they already failed once with the Green Arrow and the Canaries,
Hmm.
which I don't know how they're gonna resolve the story in that because it's an
I think they
unresolved
should
story.
just. I think they should just do like one more season and then done.
Well,
That's it.
yeah, they should at least do like a limited series because like I've been watching. Well, I've only watched one limited series recently. And that was Queen's Gambit. I love Queen's Gambit. It's one of my favorite. I think it's the best show of 2020. But
Mhm.
it's a limited series, right?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
I think Green Arrow and the Canary should just be like a limited series. Maybe like
Yeah,
it could be considered the ninth season of Arrow, even though actually no, it wouldn't. I don't think that
yeah.
kind of sounds like a bad idea. Point is, I think it can just be like a limited series. One
Just do
season.
just do one more season and then just cut it off. That's all you need to do. You don't
Yeah,
need
because
to.
like all the stuff that they're setting up there is really only good for one season. They have what is it? They have I think his name is JJ. They have him kind of
Mm,
regaining his memory as Deathstroke. They have
yeah,
William
that
getting
mystery
kidnapped.
person that's getting pushing like has a
Yeah, and
ring.
then they have like Mia Smoke kind of living on the legacy of her father and all that stuff.
Hmm.
So like that's really only good for like one season. Like I
Can
don't
I?
see why. I mean, I understand that like the CW has like their hands full when it comes to just shows, right? Like their
Yeah,
catalog's full
yeah.
for
I
the
get
next
it's
couple of
full,
years.
but you can't just like I was super excited for another season of the Arrow and the Canaries. I thought they ended it pretty well. I thought it looked sick. Like the brother got captured because they think he's
Well,
the Arrow.
I think they now I don't know, like I don't think there's anything to back this up, but I think they were trying to make this like a long running show like all their other
Hmm.
CW shows. But I just don't think they had either A, the budget, or B, the time to do it.
Yeah, and also I saw an Instagram post that Oliver Queen's daughter. You just said her name and I forgot it. And
Yeah. So,
the Flash's daughter should meet. I'm like, guys, that wouldn't make any sense.
mm,
Like
well,
like unless
we still don't know what happened to
Nora, is
Nora
that her name?
Nora Westdown. We don't know what happened to her because like I mean, we don't know if Barry and Iris. Well, if Barry and Iris are gonna have a baby, that's probably gonna be spoilers for season 7 or something like that. Like so
Yeah,
they
you
can't
haven't.
really.
Yeah, I guess
We
so.
haven't gone there yet. We haven't gone to
Yeah,
that point yet.
yeah. Like I think it's tough because like all the CW shows, like most of them are coming to the end. Like Supergirl's coming to an end. Black Lightning's coming to the end. Like most of them are coming to the
Flash
end.
doesn't really have that much left, to be honest with you.
Yeah, the Flash doesn't
I
either. But
used to
I
like
don't
the
think
Flash, but like now, like I don't know. I feel like it's time to wrap things up. Like after season
I
seven, just
agree with
wrap it up,
I agree with
or
you.
maybe like a season 8. Maybe like go up to like 8 or 9 seasons, and then after that, like that's it. Like I'm not saying this as like a pessimist. I used to like the Flash a lot. Like season 1 and 2 were season 1, 2, and 3 were my favorite. I think season 3 is so
Yeah,
underrated, but like I think it's time to just hang it up. I think Legends still
yeah,
has a couple more years left. Of
yeah.
like it's all that stuff because they're
But
actually moving on to something
unless
interesting. But
unless I feel like the only way the Flash would end if Superman and Law or whatever it's freaking called,
Lois,
it's like blows up and they do a couple more seasons of that because I think
well,
the Flash is like the main one that draws the money in right now.
yeah, that's the CW's flagship show. You know
Yeah,
that is her flagship show now. Actually, it was the most viewed show that they had for like a couple years.
yeah,
And I think it still is. But they
yeah.
have obviously have a lot of new shows
Unless you
coming out.
do like a Killer Frost TV show, but I think that would be kind of dumb.
I think what should happen is that they should have some of their characters, like their B list or C list characters, move over to Legends, because that's what
Yeah,
made Legends so. Well, it was one of the reasons why it made Legends so good is because you had a bunch of B list and C list and D list characters coming together, and they actually fleshed them out rather than just having them be like a one episode thing in like their
yeah,
the show that they came from, right?
yeah,
Um, but like it actually developed those characters out, and that's why like the OG characters that are still there in that show
mhm.
are like still one of the best characters, right? I
Yeah.
feel like
I
that's what
wouldn't
they should do.
mind.
They should. Sorry, go on.
I was just saying I wouldn't mind like Dreamer and them like running Legends or getting their own show or
Yeah,
something
I
like
was
that.
thinking that after Supergirl ends and after Black Lightning ends, they can get some of their side characters to join Legends. I don't know. I don't know any characters. Actually, they could probably get some of the characters from like Black Lightning to show up there, but I just can't really
Yeah.
think of who. Maybe some
Yeah,
like
but
squad kids.
it really depends how the show ends if you think about it.
Yeah, well, I think what should happen is that maybe like Legends of Tomorrow, like the main Legends of Tomorrow, they end
Mhm.
right. Like say like season 5, something drastic happens, right?
Okay.
And it's like the original, or not the original, but like the current team right now goes missing, right? So what
Yeah.
they could do, they can like you can have someone I guess like maybe some like crazy not archaeologist, just some crazy nerd or whatever, right? Just like go find superheroes like Neonal, Dreamer, like Neonal as Dreamer, excuse me. You can
Mm.
get Brainy, or if he survives.
Yeah.
You can also get I guess like Anissa and like Blackbird from like Black Lightning and all that stuff. You can
Yeah.
get like
Then make a
some other
new
like and
Legends
then
thing.
make like a new Legends team. Yeah, make a new Legends team. Like they find the Wave Rider, but it's
Mhm.
like, okay, we have all these like existing characters. Let's put them together and find the actual Legends team, right? And then maybe like
Yeah.
eventually what happens is that like they find them, but the current Legends team decides that, you know what, we're gonna like retire. We'll give you the keys to the Wave Rider, like officially. Now you become the Legends of Tomorrow and stuff like that. That's what I
Yeah.
want to see. Like characters like Connor Hawk, because like obviously like the Green Arrow and the Canary show is no longer going to be a thing. So yeah,
Yeah.
get characters like Connor. Like Connor Hawk's down to go back to Legends tomorrow. So why
Yeah.
didn't you get him? Like get him, get Neonal, get Brainy, get all these other B list and C list characters, and just go from there. Like again, like I
Yeah.
said, maybe they go on a mission to find the current Legends team, and eventually the current Legends team, like either they retire or something bad
Or
happens to them, just like
and
all
so
that stuff. And okay, so another show that I want to talk about now, I don't usually cover this show in the Galactic Arrowverse hub because, well, it's in the name Galactic Arrowverse, but one show that we want to talk about is WandaVision. Now, the reason why I don't really talk a lot about this show is because it's a Marvel show, and not that saying that we hate Marvel or anything like that. It's just that
yeah.
I'm more of a DC fan than Marvel fan, and
Yeah, same here.
I was thinking of actually expanding the Galactic Arrowverse sub, excuse me, to Marvel,
Mhm.
but I feel like that would be a lot to manage. Um,
That's true.
that's
So
that's
we
yeah, that's a
might
lot to manage.
like do like snippets here or there of Marvel stuff. Just
Yeah,
snippets, not like
yeah.
huge
Yeah, I
stuff.
feel like with this podcast here, I think we can talk more broad stuff.
Yeah,
Obviously, I
exactly.
mentioned Queen's Gambit. I mean, obviously, didn't go into it for too deep, but I did kind of mention it a bit.
Yeah.
Um, but Yeah, I do want to discuss WandaVision. I think we talked about WandaVision last week, right? Or
Yes, we
not
talked
last week.
about it a little bit. The last podcast we did, we talked about it a little bit, not a lot.
Yeah, and it's been really interesting. It's a really interesting
Yeah,
show. I'm not gonna say
yeah.
it's good or bad. I know some people are saying that's either really good or really bad. I'm kind of neutral on it. I'm still
I'm
trying to
also
figure
neutral.
out. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what it's all about. But I feel like this latest episode, which in the time of this recording, would have
Yeah.
came out yesterday.
Mhm.
It was really it answered a lot of questions. So,
True.
Brendan, do you want to discuss your thoughts on it?
Yes. So obviously the latest episode, we started off with like everyone coming back from the snap. Looks
Together.
of it. Yeah, which was really good. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, obviously great, like visuals and stuff like that. I really like
Yeah.
the visual effects, from just Marvel in general. You know.
Yeah, and then obviously it's Monica, and I think she was part. She was a young kid in Captain Marvel, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
she was the little girl in Captain Marvel.
Yeah, so yeah, there's a lot of different appearances in this show so far. You got like the girl from Thor.
You
I
got
think
was it Mr. Wu? I think that's his name from Ant-Man and the
yeah,
Wasp.
Ant-Man, Wasp. Yeah, he did the little card trick, which was cool. And
Yeah,
so obviously it starts off with her coming back and trying to figure out what the heck happened, whatever. So everyone's back, and then she talks with this one dude about a missing person report, which was actually not even a missing person report. It's just a missing town, I guess, sort of thing, because you can't go into the town. Then we saw her like try to kind of touch it, and then she went into it somehow. I don't know. I don't think normal people can go in. I don't know. Does she have superpowers? I
who?
don't know if she does or
No, I don't think
not.
she does. But I think
Okay, so
if you try going in, I think you're just sucked into the town or
oh,
Westview,
you're
whatever
sucked
you call
into
it.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the whole show, obviously, most of it is like Wanda's having a baby is coming really unusually fast because he's a superhero and whatever. And so it's just her. Yeah, it's a weird show, but I think it will pick up by the end of it. So I'll skip to the part where Monica and like Wanda like meet and like the couple episodes beforehand saying they were hanging out and she said Monica said they were neighbors but she doesn't even live in the town. And then Wanda figures it out because she found looked at her necklace or something and had like the thing on it or
The
whatever.
sword,
And then the sword
sword
thing.
necklace.
Yeah. And then obviously Wanda just pushes her out of it, which I thought was kind of actually hilarious. She got pushed through like 4 buildings. And then at one point Vision when Wanda looked at
That kind of
Vision,
freaked me out.
yeah, it freaked
That
me out
scene
too.
freaked me out because like
Yeah.
that's when it dawned on me that this is all Wanda's doing. She's just like
Mhm.
she's bringing like she's technically speaking she's abducting people just to be part of her like show or whatever, right?
Yeah,
And
for life sort of thing.
yeah, she kind of created this own town just like it's like kind of like her perfect town, right? Where she has two kids,
Yeah.
you know, she has like a bunch of neighbors and all that stuff.
Mhm.
And you know, I some people are trying to invade, like the beekeeper, the helicopter that or the helicopter drone that we saw earlier. That
Yeah,
all gets
that
answered in
which
this episode.
we figured out that the beekeeper was just a person in a hazmat suit.
Yeah, but
And
what freaked
then
me out the most was how like Vision. I mean, he's still dead, but like is did Wanda made him into like a zombie?
that's my guess, kind of like a walking zombie sort of thing,
Yeah,
or
because
all we know it
it's
could be in our
technically his
head.
corpse. Because like
Yeah,
what Wanda's doing is that she re-images people to her own doing, to her own vision. No pun intended there, right?
yeah, exactly.
But like she
So,
makes everything in her own image,
mhm.
right? So does that mean that like she's using like Vision's corpse? It's like a
Yeah,
literal like that's kind
zombie
of
thing.
freaky.
Yeah, it is really freaky. And obviously, at one part, she mentions her brother, and
Yeah.
then rumors started speculating that he could like show up for an episode. I'm like, okay, I guess that makes sense. That would be cool
Yeah,
if
well, I
he
mean,
showed up
well, this is her. She made everything. She went up this like town,
and
abducted
everything.
all these people, basically refitted them to her show and whatnot, right? So
So
like,
there might be, could be that he might just show up for an episode. And there was almost a yeah, we'll have to see because like I'm curious to see how they're gonna do this because obviously in trailers like they're going to get into like their old like Vision and her will get into her old outfits and whatnot, and by the
Yeah, I
looks
think
of
that's like I think that's like in the 80s or 90s. I think they're still in the
yeah,
70s right now. I
yeah,
think next episode might actually be back to like their regularly scheduled program, as they'd like to call it.
yeah, yeah, and I'm curious to see like after all this is. I'm assuming after all this is over, like I told you, I think off podcast, I think Wanda is going to be like the main villain in either Doctor Strange or Spider Man. It's going
Yeah,
to be one of
well,
those two.
all that we know for sure is that WandaVision, like I think I can't remember who said this. I don't know if it was Kevin Feige, but I know someone said that WandaVision is basically essential. It's an
Yeah,
essential to watch in order to
understand.
prior to Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
Now, when I was theorizing just like by myself, I was thinking that maybe Wanda breaks reality and
yeah,
kind of breaks the multiverse with it. I have a feeling
yeah,
that might happen near the end. Like something big is gonna happen at the end of the season, where
hmm
the town of Westview breaks, right? Like the force
hmm
field or whatever that she created, it breaks,
yeah,
but it causes like a catastrophic type of event where the multiverse collapses and all that stuff, and that's what like it's basically going to be the flashpoint of the Marvel or the MCU, right? And then you have
yeah,
that's why you have like the I guess yeah like we're not I guess like the three different Spider-Man and stuff like that, all
yeah,
that stuff.
yeah. So we'll just have to see because I think that's probably what's going to happen. That Wanda's going to turn into like the evil Wanda. I think
Yeah,
because
I have a
her
feeling
head's
that
just all
something
over the
bad.
place.
I feel like she's gonna go bad near the end of the season. But
Yeah,
I think I can't remember if it was Elizabeth Olsen, the actress, or
yeah,
someone
that's her
else
name.
said that there is going to be a villain. It's just we don't know what it is.
Yeah, because it's obviously not going to be Vision. He's dead, and I don't see it being the Sword guys because they're just trying to figure out how to save all those people.
Yeah.
But but there was a rumor that someone in there is like a witch or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I've
I
been
don't.
looked at the rumors. Which, by the way, before we kind of, I guess we're getting close to the end of this segment.
Yeah,
Before we wrap this segment up, I'm just gonna put it out there as like a disclaimer. Neither I nor Brennan know anything about the leaks that are going around. Apparently, there are leaks for episode 5 and 6, I think, or six,
yeah,
something like that.
and depending how, and they might actually release 2 episodes next week
Yeah,
because of that.
that is the talk going around. I guess the MCU community that next week they might be releasing 2 episodes because there are some like major leaks that have been going around. Apparently,
Yeah,
Disney and Marvel Studios is actually suing whoever leaked the stuff,
yeah,
leaked all that. So they are
yeah.
taking legal action. But yeah, just fair warning: we do not know anything about the leaks. We do not want to know
And
anything
don't be
about the
those people
leaks.
that send us leaks, please.
Yeah,
Please don't do that.
yeah, please do not
Don't
send
do
leaks
that.
to either our personals or our Galactic Error sub account.
Or just
Um,
don't do it in general.
yeah, well, like I guess we can talk about actually we won't even talk about it at all because we don't even know
Yeah,
but like it's dangerous waters. It's kind of like with the Mandalorian, the season 2
yeah,
finale apparently was leaked, but
yeah,
I don't know if the leakers got it right because no one knew about Luke Skywalker being in the finale for season 2, right?
yeah,
No one really knew. I don't even know if because like I said, there were leaks for season 2, the Mandalorian season 2 finale. I don't know if anyone was talking about the fact that Luke does show up, but
yeah,
yeah, according to Mark Hamill, the actor there, he said that he was able to keep it a secret for such a long time, and even some of the leakers got it wrong.
yeah. Well,
The
yeah, but I'm still
WandaVision
not taking
episode
the
6
chance.
leaks are
So
true. Yeah, but a lot of people have seen it. Like a lot of like big Instagram accounts have seen it, and they are not happy. So like,
because
just
I think it was someone that was helping with the show, was it
is
not?
it? No, I don't really know the insider details. I don't want to know. Well, it's not that I
Yeah,
don't want to know. It's just that like I didn't really go deep into the WandaVision leaks. Like I didn't want to. I didn't look up who leaked it and when it was leaked and all that stuff. Because if I did
yeah,
that,
fair
I
enough.
feel like I would accidentally see look at one of the leaks myself, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
like
So
that's why uh, be careful, guys. I think most of the leaks are being deleted, but then again, it's the internet.
yeah, yeah,
Whenever
that's
you
the
delete
internet.
something on the internet, excuse me, whenever you delete something on the internet, it's never really gone. Someone's gonna save it,
Yeah, exactly.
and since these are big leaks, I'd still say be careful, guys, because you
Yeah,
don't know what you're getting yourself into.
exactly.
It's been a while since I've been spoiled or leaked for anything, really.
Same. Yeah,
Like, I guess the last time that I might have been spoiled was probably Endgame.
and that was a long,
Yeah,
long time ago.
I was able to successfully avoid the Rise of Skywalker leaks for Star Wars, even though
Mhm.
because there was a lot of leaks going on. Actually, funny story, in Germany around the time when Rise of Skywalker was coming out, if you went to any Burger King
Mhm.
there, you can get a free. I think it was Burger King. I can't remember if it's like Burger King or McDonald's or whatever. But if you can get a free burger, or you can
Yeah.
get a burger for free. I don't know what burger it was. It might have been Whopper. I don't know, but you can get a burger for free from Burger King at in Germany at the expense of I guess getting spoiled the plot of Rise of Skywalker, which I find kind of funny. I find that kind of
Yeah.
funny. But yeah,
Yeah. I do.
so obviously, if you don't want the spoilers, then you're gonna have to pay full price, right? But I
Exactly.
kind of find that funny. But yeah, I've successfully avoided the leaks for Rise of Skywalker. I know a
Mhm.
friend of ours, actually the same friend that you roasted last time, right? The same friend who
Yeah.
you roasted last time. Actually, I think he read one of the leaks for Rise of Skywalker, and and actually, I talked to him about it after we both watched the movie. We didn't watch it together,
Mhm.
but after we both watched the movie, he told me that whatever he read on whatever page he read the leaks on, most of them turned out to be true. So I
Yeah.
stayed away from that. I stayed away from actually. I thinking about it now. I think the last time I got spoiled by leaks was probably for Terminator Dark Fate, because what
That
I
movie.
read the leaks. No, I read the leaks for Terminator Dark Fate. I wasn't impressed by it, but they turned out to be true. I watched the movie and like, okay, the movie isn't bad. I know people are saying that it's a terrible movie. In my opinion, it's like it's like the best Terminator movie since Terminator 2. But like,
Yeah.
I did get spoiled by that. But then again, I didn't really care because like I read the leaks. They sounded terrible.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, but like,
Yeah.
where I read the leaks, it made the movie sound so cheesy than it
Yeah.
actually is. Like, the movie's
Yeah.
actually not bad, but yeah. Besides Terminator Dark Fate, in terms of something I actually really cared about, not that I don't care about Terminator, but in terms of something that I actually really cared about, the last time I got leaked was probably Avengers Endgame, because
Yeah. I haven't been.
there were
I
leaks
don't
that
think haven't been spoiled with anything for a long, long time.
yeah, I read a leak. I can't remember where, but I read a leak that Iron Man and Black Widow die, and I was just like, ah, like I didn't want to
Oh.
believe it. I still went into Endgame with an open mind, right?
Yeah.
But
Exactly. That's how you have to be.
yeah, which actually I guess we can kind of talk about that now because this is just free time for us.
Yeah.
When I was in line in the movie theater to go see Endgame,
Yeah.
because it was a long lineup, obviously, because it's Avengers Endgame, right? Um,
Yeah.
I think I was there maybe like 20 minutes early.
Mm.
And when the movie ended, we had a lot of people were coming out of the movie out of the auditorium, right?
Yeah.
And like, so like when that happened, I was like, I brought my earbuds with me and I just put that in and listened to music while I was in
Okay.
line, because like you know how like a lot of people, like when they're done watching a movie and they leave the auditorium and they actually start discussing the movie.
Yeah.
I thought I was so paranoid that I thought like maybe I would have listened in to one of their conversations and actually like accidentally spoil the movie for myself. So like
Oh my
I
god.
like I didn't put so I put both my earbuds in, not at full blast, but like I put it in
Yeah.
fairly loud. I don't know who I don't know if anyone else like near me could hear what I was listening to, but
Yeah.
they were loud enough for me to not hear out any outside noise. Now I don't have any noise canceling earbuds or earphones or
Yeah.
whatever. I just have I at that time I think I just had like the regular wired earbuds. You get
Yeah.
those earbuds you get from like the same boxes where you get your phones, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that happened. That was pretty funny. Like, well, not pretty
Yeah.
funny. Well, it was
Speaking of
pretty crazy
that,
because I had to like, okay, even though I couldn't technically got spoiled before I even went in there, I didn't know
Mhm.
how true it was, because some people were saying like really different, like some people were saying different things. Some people were saying the Hulk dies, or Thor, something bad happens to Thor and all that stuff. I didn't
Yeah.
really know, but like, yeah, like I was technically spoiled, but I didn't really know. I wasn't for sure until I
Yeah.
actually watched them. Like, yeah, did actually die. You know.
Yeah, I went with Alex, one of our friends in real life, and um, so I was walking up, and then I just heard spoiler after spoiler after spoiler. Most of the spoilers I heard were true, so I wasn't that upset. I didn't know how true they were, like you said. It
Yeah, see,
was
this is why, like, you got to use my strat. Just like
I
when
had
you're
to bring
going into
headphones.
like a big movie, like an Avengers movie, just bring earbuds with you, and like either whether or not they're noise canceling, just bring them in with you. Listen to some
Mm,
music while you're waiting in line, or like you're just getting
yeah,
popcorn or whatever, and then just go from there, because you're not going to be
yeah,
able to hear anything. Obviously, you don't want to
yeah,
hear. Well, you don't want to put your earbuds in while you're getting popcorn because that's rude. But like
yeah,
like
exactly.
once you're like waiting in line, waiting for your movie to start, just have them plugged in. You know.
Oh, and another thing, one of Marley's favorite movies is coming out soon. You know what that movie is, Marley?
Justice League.
No, it has your favorite animal in it, Marley.
Oh, yeah, Godzilla versus King Kong. Oh yeah, yeah. I make a lot of monkey jokes because like
Yeah,
it's stuff. It's an inside thing with one of
yeah,
my other friends.
and I'm super excited about that movie.
I haven't watched. Okay, I think the only movie I watched in that universe I think is the first Godzilla movie.
Fair
I
enough.
think
I've been a huge Godzilla and King Kong fan, so I've pretty much watched them all. So
I haven't watched Kong Skull Island. I don't. I think there's a second Godzilla movie in that universe, right?
yes, I believe so. I forget what it's called.
Yeah, I haven't watched that either. So like, I mean, I don't obviously I understand the hype for that movie, but like at the same time, I might need to catch up if I am gonna watch that movie.
And I think some Marvel characters was in it. I think Loki, the actor, was in it.
Brie
And
Larson was in Kong Skull Island.
yeah,
Uh,
and I
and
think
then
Elizabeth Olsen was also in
yeah,
it. And
Elizabeth
then
Olsen, and actually, actually that's funny because Elizabeth Olsen, I forgot the actor's name, but the guy who plays Quicksilver,
Nick
and
Fury. Oh, I thought you were talking about Nick
yeah,
Fury. I
yeah,
thought Nick
no, the guy who plays Quicksilver in the MCU was also there. Here, I'm looking up the cast right now.
Yeah.
Uh, where is it? Yeah, so Elizabeth Olsen was there, and also the guy who plays. I'm trying to find it, but like it was weird because this movie came out I think right before Age of Ultron, so it was really weird to see both Elizabeth Olsen and the other actor here too. I can't find his name. So
Yeah.
I think it was like Aaron Taylor Johnson. I think.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, the guy who plays Quicksilver. Yeah, this guy here,
Yeah.
Aaron Taylor Johnson. Yeah, it was weird
Yeah.
because yeah, both Aaron Taylor Johnson and Elizabeth Olsen in the first Godzilla movie, they were I guess husband and wife. I think.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, and then like literally a couple months later,
They're brother and
Age of
sister.
Ultron gets like revealed at like Comic Con or something like that, and then those two are there in that movie. I'm like, huh, interesting.
Yeah.
But so, I mean,
And
I did see it kind of weird because like obviously the first movie I watched the first movie that I watched with those two actors in there was Godzilla. So yeah.
yeah. And I want to talk about a little bit of the Umbrella Academy. If you don't know what the Umbrella Academy is, there's going to be I don't know if there's going to be many spoilers, but we're going to talk about that. That show, I think, probably one of my favorite. I don't know if it's technically a
It's one of
superhero
my it
TV
like
shows.
okay, so the Umbrella Academy is a show like it's obviously a comic book show. It's written by Gerard Way and Gabriel Ba, which yes, Gerard Way. It's the Gerard Way from My Chemical Romance, and
Mm,
Umbrella Academy kind of restored my faith in Netflix shows because okay,
yeah.
quick story before we move on to this. The first Netflix original that I watched was 13 Reasons Why. Don't ask. Well, okay, okay, no. Here's the thing. No, here's the thing. No, okay, here's the thing. So I watched I watched 13. I only watched the first two seasons. I only watched them like back when the show was like the big talk. Because I remember when the show first came out. Obviously, it was based off a
Mhm.
book, but when the show first came out, everyone was talking about it because it was like, oh wow, that they're actually making a show about this girl who commits suicide and all that stuff. But it's like I was curious. I watched it out of pure curiosity. I had no interest in the show, and like I said, at the time I watched it, the second season just came out, so I watched the second season as well. and
Mhm.
that show was so bad. Like I hate the writing. The writing
Yeah.
is so bad. The acting is just questionable. And like, not to hate on this singer because I know a lot of people like her, but when I found
Mhm.
out that one of the executive producers was Selena Gomez, I'm like, okay, maybe that's why the show wasn't that great. Look, no disrespect to her musical career, but I'm sorry, like, I don't think she can write a movie for anyone, right? Like,
Yeah.
or a
And,
show or whatever. Like, but yeah, 13 Reasons Why was not like it was so bad because it was
yeah.
like I said, it was the first Netflix original I watched. It was so bad that I basically like just stopped watching Netflix originals. I passed up on
Mhm.
Stranger Things, and I originally passed up
Mhm.
on The Umbrella Academy. Thank goodness I watched The Umbrella Academy
Yeah,
because
the
the show
Umbrella
is
Academy is
so much
insane.
better. Yeah,
Insane
I
show.
was yeah I was thinking of watching Stranger Things. I don't know when I'm gonna watch that, but
I still
yeah,
haven't
and
watched
obviously
the
I
latest season of Stranger Things either.
yeah, from what my friend told me, I don't know another friend who I guess watched Stranger Things. He told me that the first season's good, but after that it's kind of irrelevant. So it's kind of like 13 Reasons Why, because like 13 Reasons Why, the first season was, I mean, it wasn't terrible. It's not the worst thing I've ever watched, but it's not that great
Yeah.
either. But the
Mm.
story kind of made sense in a way. But then like after season one, I feel like the rest of the show is just irrelevant. Kind of
Yeah.
diverts away from the main premise of the show to begin with, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, my
But
friend told me that that's like it's similar, like in terms of like how it treats its premise, it's kind of similar to 13 Reasons Why. Or we're talking about Stranger
yeah.
Things here. Um, but I'm planning on watching that show because I've heard a lot of good things, and it's one of the most streamed
Yeah.
shows of all time. Not
On
the
Netflix,
most,
I
but
think.
one of the most.
Yeah.
But yes, I watched Umbrella Academy and basically restored my faith in Netflix originals. I watched Witcher. It was all right. I feel like
Mm.
my opinion on Witcher is if you
Love
either
Witcher.
yeah, it's either if you watch or read the books or played the games to understand what goes on in Witcher, because I feel like some of
Mm.
the pacing is off in that show. But I didn't find it
Mhm.
bad. It's not 13 Reasons Why bad, right?
Yeah.
And then I watched Queen's Gambit, which I mentioned earlier, and that show is just amazing. In my opinion, it's the best show of 2020. And if you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. It's really good. The writing is amazing, and I love some of the symbolism in that show. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, moving on to Umbrella Academy now. Um,
Mhm.
I do, just a fun fact before we move on. Gerard Way actually kind of worked on Doom Patrol. Well, I
Mhm.
think this was before we started working on Umbrella Academy, but yeah, he
Yeah.
did work not on the Doom Patrol show, but more on the comic. He kind of had like his own run of Doom Patrol. And when I watched Umbrella Academy, it did have like some of the same beats. And I've never read the comics, but Umbrella Academy did kind of have some of the same beats as Doom Patrol, which is another show that I highly recommend watching. In my opinion, it's the best DC show out there right now.
Mm.
Um, but I highly but yeah, obviously highly recommend it. But yeah, in a way, like I said, similar beats as Doom Patrol, and it makes sense because Umbrella Academy basically is just it's like if the X Men, and yeah, I mean, it really is just like another
The
version of the X Men.
X-Men. Yeah, it's just a
Yeah,
weird version of the X-Men.
yeah, weird version
Kind
of the X Men kind of mixed in with Doom Patrol because like you also have like the one guy who kind of like adopts people, like a group
yeah.
of people, like into like his own little like squad of heroes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah, I think
sorry to interrupt you, but I believe they're coming out with another season, I believe.
yeah, there's a third season coming out.
Yeah.
Before we get onto that, I wanted to discuss the first two seasons. The first
Mhm.
season I thought was good. I liked it. I liked both seasons. I
I
think
like
season
the
two
second
is
season better in my opinion.
yeah, season two in my opinion is also better. But season
Yeah.
one, I did like how the
Yeah.
story wasn't too complex. It didn't have to have like a lot of like complex characters and storytelling. It was simple and straight to the point. I liked it. But
Yeah.
season two was more, I'd say, character driven. I think you'd agree on that, right? It's more character
Yeah,
driven focused.
it's more like just getting to know the characters is the first season. Like number 5 is probably my second favorite
He
character, I think.
well, first of all, I love all the characters. I loved
I
all the
do
heart.
too.
I don't think there's one Hargreaves sibling that I don't like. I think
Yeah,
all of them are written very well, and I do like the dynamics that they have. I like how they like especially like you take a look at Luther and Diego, right?
yeah.
They play
Oh,
off
I
of one
fucking love
another
Diego.
because like yeah, was it?
I love Diego. He's my favorite character.
Yeah,
Just
I
one.
think his character got better in season 2. I think season 1 he was all
Yeah,
right, but I think he was a little bland. But then season 2, he got really good. I think because
yeah,
he tried learning from his mistakes in season 1, but he still has like this really naive sense of a hero complex, right? But
yeah,
like you have all these different other like all these different characters, like the other Hargreaves siblings, you kind of like bring him back into reality and realize that he's not really much of a hero. He's nothing you can do to stop the assassination of JFK, right? You know, so
yeah,
you have all that. And like I said, I do like how both Diego and Luther play off of one another because Diego's very serious. He's kind of he's a very brooding type of character, and you know he
yeah.
tries to get to the bottom of all things. But then you have Luther who also tries to do the same thing, but he's kind of like goofily, especially how he plays off of other characters too. Like you know,
Yeah,
he's kind of the like Luther and Diego are kind of opposites of one another, and when they work together, when that like you know that one episode where you know Diego, I feel like they're the chemistry between those two. I think it's great. A lot like I think I just like seeing those the Hargreaves siblings as a whole. They're just amazing. I think the most complex character from me.
this dude.
Uh,
It's okay, fine. I'll watch it. I didn't really care. It's not DC or Marvel, even though it's technically is DC. I
well,
think,
no, it's
right?
not. It's just
Yeah,
that the one of the creators behind it did work on DC for a bit,
yeah,
but that's its own
yeah,
separate thing.
yeah. And then I realized like I should not judge a book by its cover and whatnot. Just because it's not a DC or Marvel show doesn't mean it's not going to be terrible. But yeah, the Umbrella Academy show was phenomenal. All the characters work well with each other. I love all of them. They're all great together. The story making in the show was phenomenal as well. Like her coming back in time because she plays a violin and she can bring a nuke down to the city, I guess, sort of thing. And it was just great. This whole show was great.
Yeah. Now I know each season is based off of the like actual like volume because I know Umbrella Academy they have volumes.
Yeah,
So I know that they're based off of that, but the one thing I didn't like now this is kind of like a minor gripe, but the one thing I didn't like was how Umbrella can't like the season 1 and 2 they're very similar that they're trying to stop the apocalypse, but it is different in a way, right? It's not like the same thing. But I think
yeah,
yeah, the writing in season 2 is better. I really like that scene between Ben and Vanya, where like Ben kind of
yeah,
sacrifices himself to save Vanya. I really like that. I think that, in my opinion, that's the best scene of the entire show.
yeah,
But yeah, Umbrella Academy, good show, recommend it. Any
yeah.
closing thoughts on that?
No, not really. Just I suggest you guys watch it if you have the time. It's a really good show. It gets confusing at some points, but what show doesn't? But you guys should definitely take a look at that show.
Yep. And on that note, thank you for stopping by for the Martian Tomato podcast. We'll hopefully do this again next week if we can get our
Yeah,
schedules right.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I guess next week we'll discuss more Batwoman. Hopefully, we can talk more about Black Lightning if the CW can
yeah,
get their PR team back on track.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
yeah, well, as I mentioned earlier, we will also discuss The Boys, and that's another show that
Yeah,
I'm really interested in talking about. But
yeah,
yep,
exactly.
yep, that's all for today or this week, and we'll see you all next time.
Have a good day, people.